Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is James with the Soundboard team here with Misha all the way from Nashville. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So Misha is a sales coordinator. And Misha, tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the business and what led you to it.
Absolutely. So I've been taking the product for about 7 years and saw wonderful results in both me and my husband and our family, and immediately started just sharing with people, and people were naturally asking me, why do how are you looking so good? And I was getting off of my medications because I've had quite a health journey. And so I just started naturally sharing it with people. And so I decided to join the business, and it's been about 6 years now.
Great. Well, so in 6 years, you have probably definitely seen some changes come to the way that the business is marketed and shared.
Yes.
So you want to speak to that a little bit about how technology's changed your world?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, in the past 6 years, social media certainly has gone front and center, which has been really exciting. I'll have to admit, though, I was a little late for the party on that one, but I've been able to embrace it. And, we really started, when I first started with the company, it was a lot of printed materials and,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of live presentations, and those certainly have their place still. But that was really kind of how you initiated the conversations, whereas now it's very heavy on social media and having those interactions and starting those conversations early on.
Mm-hmm. So has social media allowed you to expand your either customer base or your business network outside of your geographical base?
Absolutely. I actually have been based in Nashville for many, many years. But my husband and I moved to Chicago for 3 years, and we just moved back here last summer. And so social media certainly allowed me to maintain my customer base here in the Nashville
Mm-hmm.
area and my team. And even grow my customer base in Chicago. And now that I'm back, certainly
Great.
continuing to grow my team back here in the Nashville area, but continuing to maintain my customers here and in Chicago. But also, I have international family, so
Oh,
I actually have quite a I have a lot of customers overseas, and then I have a lot of customers all scattered throughout the South.
that's great. So I do know that you are employed apart from Juice Plus.
I
And
am.
so, yes, how does social media help do a little bit of work for you when you are trying to balance everything that you're trying to balance?
For sure. So social media allows me to check in with people when I have those breaks. I can check things quickly during my lunch break,
Mm.
and so I certainly I'm able to maximize that. But the other piece was I was really struggling in finding content that was that protected the brand of Juice Plus, but also was compliant. And so when I came across Soundboard and the Healthy Living Soundboard, it naturally gave me that content that was in line with the company brand and ethics and compliance, and really provided that to me with just very, very quickly. So I
Mhm.
was able to continue to I'm able to quickly text people, email, post. But also what it does is I actually utilize the automated feeds. And so that's really awesome, because even because I do travel for work too. So even when I'm traveling, I'm constantly continuing to push my personal brand, but I'm as
Mhm.
far as a thought leader around healthy living. But also it's continuing that presence online and in social media for me.
That's great. That's certainly one of the reasons we built the thing, because we heard from people, hey, we know we need to do social, but where do we start? And so certainly trying to provide it in a way that's easy. So what do you say to the person who says, okay, I'm either new to the business or I've been doing the business for a while, but I know that social media is something that's important for me to tackle. And I tried it for 2 months and nobody liked anything and nobody asked to buy anything, so I'm just going to quit. What do you say to that person?
Well, I think for a couple things. Number one, it's not just about the number of likes anymore, right? Or it's not about the number of shares. It's just it's being present. It's being seen. It's being observed, right? And analytics provides that to us, right? So, but it's also just having a presence, right? I work in corporate America, right? And me as a professional, but also as an employee of my company, but then also as a personal level, I have a brand, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's about that. So it's about showcasing your brand, because you never know who's watching too, right? So I'm new to social media, I have to admit. I'm a millennial, but like I said, I am new to this. So I've only been doing social media really for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And for about a year of that, has been with the Healthy Living Soundboard. And so, for people that have been doing it for a while, it really refreshes your content, it refreshes your brand. But then for those of us who are newer to it, it's for putting us out on the right foot and giving us
Mm-hmm.
a great foundation.
So have you been able to leverage the soundboard both for attracting new potential customers as well as kind of ongoing customer care and using the content to touch existing customers?
Absolutely, every single day. And I've
Mhm.
even been able to utilize the soundboard, especially the business content, and even putting it out on my LinkedIn to show me as a thought leader just with general business. And so, it's been really great. Like, it's funny to talk to some of my corporate America colleagues that may or may not know that I do Juice Plus on the side, but they'll say, wow, that article about leadership, or about, just about how to take care of your customers, that was really great. And it was articles that
Mhm.
I found on Soundboard, on the
Cool.
Healthy Living Soundboard, related to business. And so it's really helped me, both for my personal use, my Juice Plus use, but also my professional use.
Well, that I got to say, that's the first time I've heard that, but that's good news.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. We do have people leveraging the soundboard for maybe own a business like a gym or a health food store or something, and Juice Plus is part of their offering. But it's really cool to see you running kind of two parallel aspects of your business life at the same time with it. So that's
Absolutely.
really
And what's big about Juice Plus, right, is that it's not something that you do compartmentalized. It's something that you do while you're living. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of a toddler. I travel, I'm in corporate America. And so, life is very, very busy. And so being able to run all those things in parallel, and being able to find that content so easily on the Healthy Living Soundboard that I can post for both Juice Plus and my professional career
hmm
is really awesome, and really puts me out there, as being able to own the conversation, right? So it's actually gotten to the point where my HR has approached me about actually hosting like healthy living seminars here at my office.
wow.
Um, we're hosting we're talking about some salad in a jar parties, but we've been doing last year we did some healthy living education series. And so it was just because they saw the content that I was posting on all my social media aspects, but they were like, wow, you're really about educating. You're not trying to push a brand or push a product
Mm-hmm.
or push a particular company. You're really trying to be a thought leader about that, and really trying to educate us. And we really like that approach. And so, that was a to me, I was really proud of that. And, people come and talk to me about a lot of different, health things.
That's great.
And so it's because they see the content that that I'm able to post. And what I love about it being, I really love, leveraging Hootsuite with it,
hmm
because, I may be on a plane, or I may be, up late at night, but it'll allow me to go ahead and schedule those things. So it looks like I'm, constantly engaged, right?
hmm
And so does the automated feeds. That's why I love both of them.
hmm Well, would you say that you've added new customers or even new team members directly through social media and Soundboard?
Absolutely. I think it's made the conversation much easier to have, right?
hmm
Because, I'll have conversations with people, and I'll say, hey, I thought of you because of our conversation that we had had about your health or about your children,
hmm
and that content that I'm able to leverage. And so then it opens up the conversation for me to have. And it certainly started conversations, with people that I don't know. And that's awesome. So
hmm
again, just owning being able to be a participant of the healthy living conversation, across social media. And people, and it's been really great for me.
That's really encouraging. So One thing you brought up earlier is the analytics side of social media, and it does provide some answers for us when we want to figure out what's been happening on our feeds. But a lot of times, and you keep using the word conversation, and I think that's the right way to start it, because when you start a conversation on social media, it often turns into an offline, either on the phone or person-to-person conversation, which is hard to track the end result back to social media sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you brought all that up, because that's another encouragement to folks to say, hey, just get out there and stay consistent.
Yes.
And if you don't end up with a sale in your Juice Plus site from a tweet, that doesn't mean it's not working. So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I think too, one of the things that, I've been with Juice Plus now for 6 years. I've taken the product for 7. In this day and age when so many companies are out there and coming and going, I've been very consistent. I've always stayed with, I've been with the Juice, I've always stayed with my virtual franchise. And what social media has allowed me to do now is continue to reinforce that, right? And to continue to show people that, I've stayed with this particular company for this long. I believe in it. But I'm also really dedicated to sharing healthy living around the world and, from an education perspective. And I've really taken a stance within, my own corporate America company, right? So, and that social media, we had a social media contest at work, and I just kind of used some of the content that I won, because they're like, your content is it's so educational and it's so informative, and it's not pushy, it's compliant. And I was like, I know, it's great, isn't it? I have a wonderful engine for this.
Cool. Well, hey,
so yeah, that's been the big. Well, thank you.
Yeah, we like to be the silent worker bee in the background. We don't want to take the credit. You take the credit.
That's right. But no, I think, anybody can do it, right? And all my team members, I certainly encourage them to leverage this tool as well. It's not something that is required by any means by me or by the Juice Plus company, but it's something that I personally have found. And it's funny, I actually, when I first talk to team members, I just say, this is a tool that I use. You don't have to use it. And first they're like, no, I can create my own. I'm good. I'm like, awesome. That's great. And then I give it about a month, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I can't build enough content. And I'm like, well, you remember that healthy living soundboard we talked about? Well, that's what this helps with. And so I kind of I certainly don't pressurize them into utilizing it, but I certainly encourage them when they're ready to make a presence on social media.
That's a great approach to take. Certainly. Well, Misha, I appreciate your perspective and your time. I know that there will be many people who are encouraged by this as they are on their own Juice Plus journey towards building a business. And I thank you for your encouragement to them. So
yeah, absolutely. And listen, I'm happy to answer any questions for anybody. So just feel free to private message me, or I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And so if anybody has any questions, how I've used it, right? Happy to answer. In Voxer, that's right. That's right.
Many ways to find each other. Okay, well, we're going to sign off here, but thank you, Misha, and have yourself a great day.
Thanks, James.